Shanta, absolutely loved your class. You're always so insightful. This is actually my second class with you, and now I'm going to be a subscriber to you. What I learned was how to be compelling efficiently, which will actually catapult my business because it takes the guesswork out. And to me, that is the key to actually longevity in your business.
Hi Shanta, I just want to give a shout out and a great big thank you to you and your team for everything that you did during your social media audit for me and the 2 weeks of posting into my different platforms. It was particularly helpful. I loved my website, but there were a lot of other things that I felt was lax. Having your audit, comprehensive audit I might add, and suggestions really helped me to get back on track, and I'm most grateful to you for your assistance, the responsiveness of your team, the willingness to have it be exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm perfect in my eyes was most important. So I look forward to our continued working together.
I've been to several of Shanta's classes and thought she was amazing in class, and finally had the time in my business to make this whole marketing social media thing a priority. And working with her has been amazing. I think my favorite thing about her and her team is that, first of all, they're very patient with me, like changing my mind and being a little bit indecisive, but they really try to get to know me, and they focus on what kind of business I was running, and just help me clean that up and level that up. And I'm very excited about actually having like a better presence online, and I knew it was time. So thank you, Shane.
This was an amazing class. I loved all the content today. I had some great new ideas on my Instagram account that now I can implement. So excited to jump in and use some of your ideas today. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank Shanta and Competitive Edge Marketing for the great job they did on my website. I'm in real estate, and I've gotten so many compliments from my corporation, and she was so insightful in the different ways that she branded me and my product, which I could never have done on my own. So again, thank you, Shanta. I recommend you to anybody that would like to get a website made.
Shanta, you have been extremely helpful in this process thus far. I don't like social media, and you're making me feel a lot better about it. It seems to be just easier to do once you clean up all of my social media platforms. But this has been extremely eye-opening. And again, I'm just feeling so much better about what I need to do next to create my brand. So thank you.
My name is Karen Carr, and I just wanted to give a quick testimonial for Competitive Brand. I had virtual assistants overseas that were doing my social media for me, but they will make the posts, but they have to make them according to what you tell them to do. They weren't really brand strategists. So when I came across Shanta, I jumped in with both feet because this sounded ideal. This is somebody that does a very in-depth evaluation of you and your brand. You come up with an entire branding strategy, and then her team just makes the posts and posts them daily. I don't have to constantly approve things. I don't have to be in there monitoring all of the time, making sure that there are not typos and misspellings. Her team just takes care of it so that I don't have to, which is exactly what I wanted, because social media is not my thing. I have other things that I need to do. I understand the importance of having a presence on social media, but I don't want to be the one doing it. So if that sounds like you and you just want something hands off where they will take care of it for you, I cannot recommend them enough. Thank you so much, Shanta. This has been amazing.
Hey guys, this is attorney Waylon from Waylon Legal Group, Magnolia Title Solutions. I just finished up with a great strategy session with Shanta. She is fantastic. The ability that she has to grab content and make it relatable and understandable for my clients. The fact that she listens and understands the needs of our firm and is able to make sure that those things do come to pass. I love sitting down and talking with her about where our business is growing and going, and I can't wait for our next strategy session to get started to do some more things. Thank you, Shanta.
Shanta and her team were amazing. They helped me create my website and update my logo. They were super patient and very knowledgeable on what was needed to get everything together, so I highly recommend them.
Christy Massey. I am a realtor in the North Metro Atlanta area, and today I just wanted to share a little bit about my recent experience with Shanta Wetterhahn of Competitive Edge Online Marketing and Branding. As a realtor, I was struggling a little bit when it came to the social media arena. I had a Facebook and an Instagram page that I posted very generic content on. I was lacking engagement from my followers, and I was failing to generate leads from anything that I posted on these two platforms. I contacted Shanta to inquire about some one-on-one coaching just to help me in my marketing, and recently completed that. I found Shanta to be invaluable with her knowledge on both of these platforms and with marketing in general. She was able to give me ideas for daily content, for marketing strategies, for ways to help me generate new leads. And the biggest and best thing for me was, as a realtor, we have to be super careful about the content that we post. We have rules and policies that we have to follow so that we don't violate specific laws here in Georgia. Shanta is so familiar with that information already, and she was able to provide some insight and some guidance with that as well. I would highly recommend Shanta to anyone that's looking to gain a little bit more knowledge in the Instagram and Facebook marketing. And also, she offers other services such as branding, website development, logo design, things of that nature. So she would be someone fabulous for you to reach out to if you're just kind of looking to take your business in a new direction.
All right. Hello. I hope everybody's doing well. Hi, everyone. It's good to see y'all this morning. Let me know if you just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. First of all, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I know you're here to dive into Georgia Real Estate Commission compliance. And thank you for being here. So, if you can, let me know if you can see me. Can you hear me? Is my tech coming through? We're also going live on YouTube. So, I'm really happy about that. I'm excited. All that tech is working. Hello, everybody. everyone watching us live on YouTube. Hello, everyone here that is live in our masterclass today. Just a heads up, y'all, I teach a lot of Georgia Real Estate Commission compliance courses. If you have not taken one, I'll let you know. A lot of them are free. They're virtual. I would love to have you in one. This is not a GREC compliance course. It is a course on GREC compliance, but it is not a Greg, you're not going to get any Greg CE. It's not a 3 hour CE, just a little heads up. Sometimes people get a little confused. This is a master class. It's transformational. It's going to help you protect your license. It's going to help with your business today. And I'm super excited to be here with you today. Now, we do have a special guest, and I'm not sure we have Angie Mezza Smith of KW as our special guest today, but unfortunately, I have not heard from her today. So I hope everything's okay. But it's fine. I'm going to teach you what I know about Greg compliance. And then if Angie, if she hops in, then we'll let her pick up. But most of my Greg compliance strategy, knowledge, insight is all from social media perspective. So I run a small marketing agency, and the one thing that we do is we help our clients stay compliant with GREC. And I'm going to share with you everything you can do to protect your license today. So if you are excited, let me know. Give me a yes. Also, I need permission. Can I coach you today? Okay. Can you give me a coach me coach? Coach me coach in chat, and let me know if you're excited about learning about GREC compliance, how to protect your license. Okay. So, yes, awesome. Okay. Hello, Greg. What's up? What's up? What's up, Greg? Hello. All right. Anida, hello. What's up, Chriselle? What's up? Yes, awesome. Miriam, Jennifer, hello. Orlina, yes. All right. Okay, Deborah. All right, Ava. Belquist, it's good to see you. You're in so much of my stuff. Charles, hello. Mike says, coach me, coach the coach, coach me, coach. Okay. Danica, Sandra, awesome. All right, y'all. So we are going to go ahead. Let's get started. Today, we are going to get into everything we can do to protect that real estate license of yours. Okay. We're here to build wealth. We're here to help make an impact. We're here to have sustainable real estate businesses. And listen, if you are not doing your due diligence, crossing those T's, dotting those I's, we can't have sustainability in our business. So that's what we're going to get. Okay. You got it. You got it, Richard. I'm here to coach. All right. So if y'all can go ahead, scroll up in chat. You'll see I dropped a GRET compliance guide. That is for you. You got it. You can have it. And it's a companion to this course. So go ahead, grab that GRET compliance guide. And we're going to go ahead and get into everything that it takes to be compliant. So let me record. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to get into Georgia real estate compliance today. This is going to be a secret weapon for you. You are in the perfect place if you're looking to have an ethical business, have a business when you're advertising, when you're marketing, when you're branding, that you feel like you are protecting. Okay. So the best thing that you can do is educate yourself. And today, this is definitely what we're going to do. So, we do have our special guest here today, Angie. Hello. Good morning, Angie. We have her here. Okay, we're going to let Angie get unmuted and everything.
Good
The
morning.
fun,
Okay, finally,
hi.
there we go.
Hello.
Wasn't
How are
talking
you?
away.
How's it
Good
going this
morning.
morning?
Wonderful. How's everyone else doing?
Great.
Everybody, yes, great, awesome. Okay, well, yeah. So, okay, y'all. So we have Angie here. We are doing so good today. I'm so happy to see your face, Angie. Y'all know Angie, I'm sure. A lot of you guys actually were probably invited to this class by Angie. So I want to go ahead. What I'm going to do is some of you guys may not know her, and that's fine as well. But first of all, I want to introduce her, and then we're going to go ahead and get into all the amazing great compliance stuff because I know that's what you're here for. So, welcome everybody. Welcome, everyone. Today's masterclass is definitely a game changer for your real estate career. We're not just talking about closing deals, y'all. We're talking about protecting your money, protecting your license, having a sustainable real estate business. And we are absolutely honored to welcome Angie Mezza Smith. She's a seasoned broker. She's been in the game, y'all, over 20 years in leadership, compliance, and agent development. She's the managing broker at Keller Williams, Heart of Atlanta, and she also has a real estate school, okay? And she's always focused on smart agents, smart strategies. She's helped thousands of agents meet compliance, not just meet it, y'all, but master compliance. Okay. Angie teaches what she calls, she has a strategy, and we're going to talk about today the clear compliance. Okay. These are rules that we're not here to confuse you, bang you over the head, all that stuff. We're here to serve you. We want to take your hand, hold your hand, and give you insight on what it looks like to be in compliance in your business. All right. We want to talk about what it means to have clarity, how to build trust when you're compliant, when you are doing the things the right way, when you're following the best practices we're going to talk about today. You're having a business that not only are you telling yourself, you're trusting yourself, okay, which leads to success, but you're also laying a foundation and a standard in your business for your clients. You're building a business that's trustworthy and also that's resilient. All right. Okay. So we are in a world today where one audit can derail your year, your clarity, everything. And Angie's here to give you both. So get ready to take notes, y'all. I've recorded. We're going live on YouTube, so you'll have access to the replay. Grab my guide. I dropped it in chat. If you're watching the replay, it's linked below, guys. And Angie, we are so excited to learn from you today. Welcome to the masterclass, the Bombshell Brand Masterclass. And oh yeah, I gotta unmute y'all. Okay, y'all, listen. Okay, hold on. Okay, now I think you can unmute yourself now, I believe.
Yes, I
Okay,
think I did. Okay, wonderful.
Angie, crickets and it's user error, of course. All right. Okay, y'all. Yes, Angie, hello, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Well, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, yes.
So, I want to kind of explain a concept. Some of you may have heard me talk about this before, but and this concept is kind of the foundation problem, I think, in our industry when it comes to compliance. Our foundation problem that I see after over 20 years, I'm coming up on 27 years of being in this business. But the foundation problem I see is agents don't realize that they're out there using their license, kind of like you would use your driver's license, but they're out there running stop signs and don't realize it. They're driving the wrong way, if you will, up I-85, and they don't realize it. Now, why is that? It's because they there's no police officer on the corner. There's no oncoming car that you're going to hit and have a car crash. There's nothing that immediately signals you, oh, wow, that's wrong. Don't do that, because there's an immediate consequence. And the reason I think that this is happening is because it's hard to get people to read and understand and pay attention to things that aren't fun to look at, like license law, Georgia Real Estate Commission rules, complex articles about legal issues, things like that. But what we are instead inundated with is information coming at us from all different directions. And a lot of that's coming from our fellow agents. So the problem is we see other people doing certain behaviors, and because there doesn't seem to be any consequence, and because it seems to be the thing that everybody else is doing, there's an assumption that it must be okay and it must be right. And so I'm here to kind of shake that up a little bit and say, just because we see everybody else doing something doesn't mean it's right. One thing that
Absolutely.
I would say the number one thing that I see is a lack of compliance when it comes to just your basic fundamental advertising of yourself as being in the real estate business. And I want to remind you guys that agents are like a finger attached to the body, and the broker is the body. And the body is the thing that allows that finger to actually do real estate duties. And so there is never a time where you, or if you advertise under a team name, can ever stand alone as far as letting the company or the public know you're in the real estate business. There can never be Angie Mezza Smith, realtor, fabulousness, all over social media if I'm trying to announce to the world that I'm in the real estate business. I must always identify the broker that I'm licensed with, the brokerage that I'm licensed with. And it's important that I identify that brokerage specifically as it is identified with the Real Estate Commission. And a good way to find that out is to just go do a search on the Real Estate Commission website under information and look up your real estate company. Look it up by the firm license number, your H number that you see when you are logging in to FMLS that auto-populates in your contracts. Look it up by the number. You don't put the H in, you just put the number in, and you'll see all the registered names that your brokerage has with the Real Estate Commission. And that name, one of those names, needs to be included in your email signature, on your voicemail. It needs to be on all forms of advertising. It needs to be on social media. It needs to be everywhere. You also need to check your name. I recently found out, and I never stop learning. So let me just give you guys this disclaimer. I reserve the right to be wrong, but I never stop learning. And a very kind real estate commission investigator pointed out to me when we were talking about an investigation he was wrapping up that I need to update my name on the real estate commission because I have Angela instead of Angie. To me, I thought that's no big deal. I have Angela Mezza Smith instead of Angie. He's like, but all your email signatures say Angie, and that's a problem. And I was like, what? And he's like, if someone reported you for that, we'd have to actually investigate it, and you'd probably get a citation. And I was shocked. But we need to make sure and know our audience and make sure that we're advertising ourselves correctly. And it's a simple thing. Like if you go by your middle name, if you have a nickname, if your name is Deborah, but you go by Debbie, and that's how you market yourself to the public, do a simple Georgia Real Estate Commission change application. It's no big deal. And just fill in your name that you want your license to be under the way you want it, sign it, and email it to them. And in a couple of weeks, it'll be fixed. And it's no big deal. You don't have to send a whole bunch of information. So the other thing I want to point out is when it comes to property advertising, not only do you have to have your name and the brokerage name in addition to any team name, but you also have to have the main brokerage phone number. And that would be anything like your agent websites, any kind of social media advertising of property, anything like that. And the font size, frequency, and boldness of your name and phone number cannot exceed the boldness and font size and frequency of the broker's name and phone number. And that's property advertising. So that's just some foundation information. Shantha, I was planning to jump in to what I think is now our next big thing in our industry that we have got to really focus on, and that is clear cooperation and advertising of listings.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So right now you're starting to see a lot of coming soon advertising, or you're starting to see people use the term pocket listing or off market and things like that. Many of you may have heard or seen an article come out recently about NAR changing its clear cooperation policy. Clear cooperation said under certain circumstances, such as you having an exclusive listing. So in other words, you've got all this power, exclusive right to sell listing or the exclusive seller brokerage agreement. That is so important because the seller themselves can't even market their own property under that agreement. So that gives the broker and the listing agent a tremendous amount of power. But with that amount of power comes a tremendous amount of responsibility. So Clear Cooperation says if you get an exclusive listing, that the seller can put an on-market date that is, say, 6 months, 1 month, however long, they're in charge, that they can commit to, let's say Shantha was the agent, they could commit to Shantha exclusively, but that on-market date could be however many months down the road. The factor is on that is no problem unless any advertising whatsoever. And when I say any advertising, I mean even within your own firm, saying to your fellow agents at a team meeting that you have a listing that's coming soon. That's advertising. If you do that, then you now have triggered Clear Cooperation, and that listing has to be put on the MLS within 24 hours. So when you have an exclusive with a delayed marketing, no advertising at all is allowed until you put it into the MLS. Or if you do put it, or you do advertise, you must then, you've triggered the Clear Cooperation rule, and you must then put it in the multiple listing services that you're a member of within 24 hours. Now, once you put it into an MLS, it can stay at coming soon status for up to 30 days. Here's where I see the biggest violation. And here's where, when I interviewed the CFO of Georgia MLS, and I interviewed and also sought clarification from the CEO of FMLS, here's their biggest takeaway that they want you guys to know. When you have something that's either not advertised, you have an exclusive, it's not on the MLS, or you have it on the MLS, but you have it as coming soon. Both of those scenarios are limiting the freedom and exposure of all agents and that represent all the buyers out there that could possibly see the property or try to see the property. When you allow it to be shown under those circumstances, we're potentially looking at a fair housing violation, and that's huge. Why? Because you have all that exclusive power, yet you're in control and you're literally cherry picking who can see it and who doesn't. And the buyers out there don't have equal footing. Maybe it's only being discussed amongst agents in your office. Maybe it's only being given to certain buyers. Maybe it's in coming soon status where I have a buyer that wants to see it and really wants to be in that neighborhood, and we are basically denied scheduling an appointment, yet another agent is more aggressive and calls the listing agent and says, please, 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 my clients are only going to be in town this weekend, please, 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 and the other agent allows the showing. This type of cherry picking is potentially fair housing violation. And that is the number one thing. It's not so much that we're violating a National Association of Realtor rule. It's not so much that we're potentially violating a Georgia MLS or an FMLS rule. It's that we could potentially be violating fair housing. So here's my solution. And I'm going to give you guys, this is my superpower, okay, solution for you. Let's open our mind up to the possibility that if what our client wants and what we want is to truly have a quote off market or pocket listing that we can advertise, that they want all the advertising and all the exposure, and they want to be able to allow appointment only showings. They want everything except for FMLS and Georgia MLS or whatever listing service that your broker's a member of. Your superpower is the non-exclusive seller brokerage agreement, because it allows you to market. You could put it on your website. You can put it on social media. You can talk about it to your fellow agents in your office. And you can do every single solitary thing you want to market it, and even show it with a non-exclusive. And you are not going to be required to put it in FMLS or Georgia MLS. And you're not violating fair housing because it's non-exclusive. So the seller could show it themselves. So the seller could hire other brokers to also be non-exclusive if they want. And I know the big hesitation for a lot of agents on that is, well, I don't want to have the seller sign a non-exclusive because then they can go sign one with another broker. Well, I can tell you after 26 or almost 27 years of doing this, I've only seen one property owner sign open listing or non-exclusive with more than one broker, and it was on a commercial deal. And, you got to look at it from their perspective. Why am I going to sign all these different non-exclusives with multiple brokers agreeing to pay them money at closing? What if I end up in a situation where they all claim they brought that buyer? What if they all claim they're owed that money? I don't know that I want to be in a contract as a seller with multiple brokers paying multiple competitive money. What if I end up owing more than one of them? So, it's a good segue to use the tool of the non-exclusive if you're in a situation like that. And they can always upgrade to the exclusive and go full on marketing with the MLS. But anyway, that's kind of the big thing that I'm trying to get the word out about right now, because I can see how if we don't get our hands around this, it's being violated so much that I can see this potentially being another huge legal problem in our industry. And I want agents to be aware. So if you guys have questions, comments, please, I'm open.
Yes. And everyone's unmuted. Y'all can hop in with any questions about. So we're mainly talking about the clear compliance right now. Angie, what would you say some things that agents can do to protect themselves with any new changes that are happening?
Hello, Angie. My
Hey,
caller. How you doing?
There we
I'm
go.
I'm good. I can't see your picture. Hold on, let me see if
I'm not getting CEO, so I'm off my picture and I'm getting
I
dressed.
haven't seen you in 100 years, Mike Collard. How are you doing?
Unbelievable.
That's great. So somebody asked
Let me ask you a
Kat
question
if they could
about
put a
the.
sign.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sorry,
me.
Mike.
That was me. Yes, I was wondering if you could put a sign in the yard saying "coming soon."
You can
Oh,
do
good.
all of that
Yes,
with
good
the
question.
non-exclusive. With the non-exclusive, you can do all of that. With the exclusive, you can do that, but you must then put it in the MLS. And you have the option of, when you put it in the MLS, any advertising, and that includes discussing it at your sales meeting in your own office. Any
Right.
advertising at all requires you to put it into the MLS within 24 hours. So that means sign, that means discussing it at your office, that means letting a fellow agent know that you have this signed exclusive listing. The minute you do that, you trigger having to put it in the MLS. That's all exclusive. Now, once you put it in
And it
MLS,
still to be coming soon, though, right? The
you
sign
can
coming soon.
you can put it in a sign in the yard, but then it better be in MLS, unless, Mike, you have the non-exclusive. If you have a non-exclusive, you can put a sign in the yard and you put coming soon on it or not. You can show it. You can do every single thing you want to do, including putting it on your company website, your social media, every form of advertising except for the MLS with a non-exclusive, and you can even show it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
It's
That's
just
a
a
great
tool that we
question.
have, and we've had it forever, and we are afraid to use it. And I'm telling you, if this is what you're trying to accomplish, we have a tool to accomplish that without you being in trouble for violating fair housing, without you being in trouble for violating clear compliance or clear cooperation. And so use that tool for those circumstances. Now, obviously, there's going to also be the vast majority of sellers who are ready to have their property put on the market right away, and they've got their house in condition and this and that and the other. So in that situation, you certainly want to do your exclusive seller brokerage agreement, and you want to enter it into the system within 48 hours and make sure your on market date matches up to that. That's your traditional listing, and that's perfect, and that's great, and that's fine. But we tend to, as human beings, we tend to follow the crowd. And when we see something that looks like the popular thing to do or other agents doing it, we tend to follow the crowd. And I'm telling you right now, if you truly want advertising rights without MLS, you've got to use the non-exclusive, because there is no such thing as advertising without the MLS on an exclusive. And there is no such thing as allowing a showing when it's coming soon or it's exclusive and you don't have it on the MLS in active status. That's the big aha I'm trying to get through to you guys.
It's great. This is good stuff. I hope y'all are enjoying it, y'all. So,
Can somebody share stories or experiences that they're seeing where this is an issue, where people, they see it being violated? Because when I'm teaching this in class, and I am teaching, I think, Advertising 101, I'm teaching that Thursday, I think, and it's available on Zoom, reschoolofgeorgia.com. So you guys could go to the school
yes, you guys check that out.
and you can check that out. But I will go over this in extreme detail in that class. But if anybody has any stories they want to share, I'd love to hear some feedback.
Any questions, stories, y'all can hop in or
Hi,
drop it
Phyllis.
below.
I see you online.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so wonderful. And I see Chuck Azer. I'm seeing all these familiar faces and
Isn't it
and
funny how
names
you
popping up. I love it.
see
Good
your
to see you
friend?
again, Angie.
Hi, how are you, Chuck?
Hey, thank God.
Yes.
So
It's
I-
never
I'm
too late to keep learning. You learn something new every day. And I try to
yes.
make sure that I jump on as much as possible because you're dynamite and I love learning from you.
Thank you so much, Phyllis. I try to make it real. I try to take whatever
Yeah.
I know legally and make it applicable in a real substantive way. Otherwise, it's not useful to you guys. So that's really the thing that as an instructor, if I have any talent at all as an instructor, it's hopefully taking complex legal stuff and boiling it down and repackaging it to you guys in a much more palatable, easy to understand way. So that's my
Nice.
goal anyway.
And
You're
Angie,
good at it.
Angie, I just
Angie's
want to
on-
let you know I already changed the signature on my email, so now it says Charles and then parenthesis quote Chuck and parenthesis whatever Azer. So now I could be compliant based on what you just said. So thank you so much.
Yay! And Chuck, I'm gonna go probably after this class because I'm gonna fill out a change application because I can do it online. I can e-sign it. The broker doesn't have to sign it, and I'm gonna change my official name on my license from Angela to Angie because I'm known as Angie. I use Angie for all intents and purposes. I rarely use Angela, and if the real estate commission investigator says, hey, this is a problem, you need to fix it. I was like shocked. I thought it's like Mike Collard. If his name is Michael and he's been using Mike and we all know him as Mike for 30 years, he may need to look and see how he is on there. And the real estate commission is not going to, bust any of our chops based on these kind of infractions, including blatant things that the investigators or even the real estate commissioner himself may see out there on social media. But they see it every single day, just like I do. They see it all over Facebook, agents advertising themselves and not mentioning the broker that they're affiliated with. And they can't do anything about it until someone reports it. And that could happen. It could happen with a disgruntled client. It could happen with a competitor. It could happen at any time. And, if you get reported for one thing, then suddenly they start seeing all the other infractions that you might have, and it just adds up. And it's not like a lot of these things are going to result in somebody losing their license, but the investigation process is not pleasant. You can have to unpublish websites. You can have to unpublish social media. It can be costly. You can have to redo signage. So my whole thing is this is all preventable. This is completely preventable. Why drive your boat around with a hole in it and put chewing gum to stop the hole? Just fix the hole and then peacefully ride around in your boat and be happy.
Angie,
That's my
good
whole
morning.
thing.
This is
Hi,
Rosanna.
honey. How are you, Rosanna?
Hi, sweetheart. But now I'm getting a little scared because I didn't know about that. As you see, my name shows the medium.
Correct.
And you know me by Rosanna Lacava.
That's how you market yourself.
I thought that I should have left my full legal name for
I did too. I did too, Rosanna, but I'm going to I'm going to go into the Real Estate Commission website. I'm going to go to at the top, you'll have forms and applications, and you just want to click real estate. And I think it's like the second form in there. It says change application, pull it up, and you fill in the heading with your current name that's on your license number, and then it has a little section on the front that says change of name, and you put the name that you want to now appear, and you sign it. And you can electronically sign it, and then you email it to the Real Estate Commission. And boom.
I'm gonna
do it today because I thought so too. When I got my license, of course, that was 100 years ago. But when I got my license, I thought that it better be under my official legal name.
Yes.
But now, if we all go by, Mike goes by Mike, he doesn't go by Michael. You go by Rosanna, you don't go by Miriam. I go by Angie, not Angela. I'm just saying, it's a power move to just take 2 minutes and fix it.
Yes.
2 minutes and fix it.
Yeah.
Look how quick Chuck fixed his email signature while we're having this conversation.
Hey, Angie,
another thing.
I'm sorry
voicemail greetings. I'm sorry, Chuck.
I just have one more question relating to that whole thing, which is that it seems to me, let me know if I'm wrong or not, but the name that should appear in GREC is how you sign it in the contract, right?
Yeah, whatever you're marketing yourself as, it should all be consistent. So how you sign it in the contract, how you market yourself. If you're saying Chuck Azer, Chuck Azer, Chuck Azer, then you want to change it in GREC to Chuck Azer, and then it needs to be consistent across the board. Whether it's how you're signing it in the contract, how you're marketing yourself, it all needs to be consistent.
Angie,
okay, because I always sign my name Charles, but I call myself Chuck. So
you call yourself Chuck and you market yourself as Chuck, and most of your clients probably know you as Chuck. So you might want to do what I'm doing, Chuck, and just do the change application and change it to Chuck, and then keep it consistent.
But then I would have to sign the contract as Chuck, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, that's okay. That's okay, because we're other than the commission, the F-259 commission exhibit agreeing to the amount of commission and us having to sign the contracts for that purpose. Ultimately the parties to the contract are the buyer and the seller, where the buyer's agreeing to buy and the seller's agreeing to sell. So it's according to the Real Estate Commission, it's not about the legalities of this being your legal name or not legal name. It's how you want to consistently be known as a licensee, and it must be consistent.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Angie, one more thing, and that's it. Will that affect the C hours accumulated or anything?
No.
No.
That's tied to your license number, and this will not change your license number at all.
Awesome. Thank you.
It changes only it's like a superficial change, but it's an important superficial change. So like it's a surface change. Deep down inside, we know you're Miriam, but you go by Rosanna. You've gone by Rosanna since I've known you for 20 years. I go by Angie. And so I need to fix that because, and this was one of those things that, guys, I found this out a couple of days ago and I was like, what? And so, when I get information, I want to always share it with you guys. It's a super fast change. Super fast.
Thank you. And whenever you have a chance for the contract class again, please make sure that I will be in the list.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I haven't taught one lately, and I need to do one, and it'll probably be on a Saturday, and it'll probably be on Zoom. So I'm overdue.
One class, but I love yours overall, so please.
I'm due to do a basic end-to-end contracts class. I do teach little short classes to my own agents on different segments of the contract on Mondays, like hour-long classes where we go over certain segments. So I teach that a lot, but I need to do the contract CE class. You're right, I'm overdue for it.
Well, guys, I'm so glad we came together today. I know you would not have known any of this stuff if it wasn't mentioned in such a clear way. I love having these conversations with Angie because this is like the second time I've interviewed her, I think, second or third, I can't remember, but she's just a breath of information. But like she said, she has just this way of making it sound so simple, and like do it. It's that easy. It's harder to get fined. Okay. So one of the questions that I have, Angie, is, what is the number one or two, a couple, if you will, the biggest compliance issues that you see, the repeat offenders that you see agents doing, and how can they avoid it?
Oh, the absolutely biggest thing, and it's again agents seeing other agents driving the wrong way down the interstate and thinking it's okay because nobody's getting pulled over. Okay, nobody's having a car crash. So I want you to think of your real estate license, which is a privilege, just like you have the privilege to drive a car. Okay, and if we think about how we wouldn't treat our driver's license the same way we treat our real estate license, because there would be an imminent consequence, a car crash, a ticket, losing that license, having that license suspended. Yet because there's no police officer on the side of the road or no oncoming car to have a car crash, that's where we're going off the rails. And without question, and according to others I've talked to, the absolute number one, and I call this rule number one, or violating rule number one, is taking advice from other agents or just doing what other agents do. And the number one is advertising, advertising, advertising. And I would say the biggest thing is social media, where, agents are like, hey, this is, I'm Angie and I'm a real estate professional. I'm here to help you. No mention of the broker that holds my license. This is the absolute biggest problem that I see, is agents identifying themselves to the public. And what stacks that on and makes it worse is when they add their team name. When you add your name and then your team name, which is not a licensed firm, and there's no mention of the broker that who you're licensed with, you could actually not only be charged with violating advertising rules, but you could be charged as running an unlicensed firm for that team name, especially if that team name happens to also be a corporation you get paid to, so it's an incorporated. But you are telling the public that Angie Realty, which is the name of my team, is actually the brokerage, because I'm not mentioning that my license is held with Keller Williams Realty Buckhead, but my license is held with Keller Williams Realty Buckhead. But if I just say Angie Realty or the Angie team, and I'm Angie, and I am your real estate professional, and we see this every single solitary day. I cannot go on Facebook. I cannot look at agents' team, and some of these agents make, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And it's only a matter of time before, a competitor, perhaps, I would say that's the most common person who's likely to report a fellow agent for this type of infraction. But it's only a matter of time before somebody says, oh, I see that they think the rules don't apply to them. Let me send in a report. And it could shake up their business more than they realize. They're not going to lose their license over it, but it could shake up their business more than they can imagine.
Can you share the pitfalls of someone reporting? Like, what does that process look like? And I heard that brokers, they also get fined too. They're held accountable. Is that true? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, one of the first things they're going to ask when an agent gets reported, they'll contact the agent and ask them questions. They'll contact the broker of the agent and ask questions. And one of the first things they're going to ask is, did this agent, because this is an additional requirement and it's an additional charge, did this agent get this ad, the social media ad, or this postcard, or this whatever marketing piece, did they get, or their website, for example, did they get that approved? Did they submit that to you for approval? And I'm going to have to answer honestly and say no. Now, if I say yes, they submitted it to me and I approved it, and I approved it, and I approved it when it was not compliant, then under the bus I go. But if I truly did not approve it, and nobody can prove that they ever sent it to me for approval, which is what they were required to do, then I'm not going to be charged as being complicit. But there are certainly circumstances where if a broker, for example, is in charge of reviewing a contract and they see something blatantly wrong, or something that's a required bit of information, such as the broker's license number or the name of the licensed firm on the contract, the exceptions to that are contracts that you don't prepare. So for example, if you're helping someone and they're using an attorney and the attorney's preparing the contract, the real estate commission is not going to require all those names and license numbers and phone numbers and fax numbers to all be on that contract because you're not in charge of preparing it. But when you, the agent, are the blank filler-inner, then you have to understand that you've got to respect the information, because the reason that information is required is the real estate commission rules and laws want the public to be able to reach out directly to the broker, the body, if you will, and not always have to go only through the finger. The body's ultimately responsible, and the public has to be able to get in touch with the body. You also have to know who the body is instead of just who the finger is. But yes, brokers can absolutely, if there's something that they were in charge of reviewing and they let it slide, and then later an investigation. Now the investigation could be about something over here, but when the evidence starts coming in and they start looking around at the evidence and they say, "Oh, I see they have an incompliant email signature. I'm looking at evidence over here for this thing, but now I see that they're marketing themselves this way. And I'm looking at evidence over here about this, but you're giving me the contracts, and oh, this is missing all this critical data." Then those charges stack up. And if the broker had reason to believe and knew and was responsible for reviewing that and either failed to review it or reviewed it and let it slide, then the broker is going to be penalized as well.
What kind of penalties have you seen over the years?
The penalties can range. I would say the vast majority of the time for something like this, the penalty that comes down from the real estate commission is going to be what's known as a citation. A citation is a nasty, expensive traffic ticket. Could be like a $600 traffic ticket. They also will charge you what it costs them to do the investigation, which could be another $600. So then you basically take the citation amount and double it, and you have to pay for what it costs to do the investigation. Then you're required to do a required continuing education class. And so, and they'll tell you specifically which class, and they'll tell you in the citation what the deadline is to pay the fine and what the deadline is to do the class. Now, depending on the severity, if they sanction an agent, that's a suspension. A sanction usually means you're going to have your license suspended for a length of time, usually at least 6 months, and you cannot practice real estate during that time. And the fine will be in the thousands. It could be 10,000, could be 2,000, could be whatever. And then the ultimate punishment, depending on, again, the severity of what's going on, is having one's license revoked. So to having your license revoked, you've probably committed some kind of fraud. You've probably blatantly lied or falsified information to the real estate commission. You know, you probably, just like the dangerous driver that's driving the wrong way up I-85, you probably don't need that license anymore. You don't deserve it because you've done something that is not protective of the public, and it's not protective of your fellow agents, and you know, it's dangerous. So that's kind of your levels. Now, with a citation, I've seen cases where people could have been sanctioned, they could have been suspended, they had done something bad enough that it could have resulted in a suspension. But the real estate commission only chose to cite them and give them the naughty traffic ticket. And I see that a lot. I will tell you that a lot of it has to do with, was this an honest mistake? Are you cooperating with the investigation, owning that mistake? And are you a repeat offender, or is this a first time thing? And do they truly believe that you were just maybe ignorant on the situation and, naive, and now you've gotten an education the hard way? And I see that a lot, where if agents cooperate and they are a first time offender and they are not out there trying to do things deliberately wrong, maliciously wrong, where something could perhaps be a sanctionable offense and result in higher fines and suspensions, that it gets lowered down to citation level. And a citation is never going to show up on your permanent record. It's not going to flag. A suspension will. It'll show you've had a disciplinary action if somebody looks up your license on the real estate commission, whereas a citation will not show up. So you know it, your broker knows it. When your broker goes to pick up your license, it might show up and alert them that you need to tell them about that ticket, traffic ticket, and they have a right to ask for a copy of it, but the general public's not going to see that citation was ever issued.
Okay, nice, nice. Okay, so we did get a question about the name change. Orlina asked, will the name change trigger them to look for previous contracts and advertising?
No, no, no.
So, Angie, say you have a new agent, fresh, spanking new, bright-eyed, bushy tail, walk in, join your brokerage. What are some advice and guidance you would give them right off the bat? Like, what are some habits or best practices could they implement, in anybody actually, in their real estate business to protect their license?
Read, read. I can't stress that enough. The answers to almost everything you need is in the reading. You need to take substantive classes on things like contracts. You need to read things like the contingencies and familiarize yourself. And it's not a one and done thing. It's a read it, read it, read it. And our contracts especially, they're written for people without law degrees. So if you really read it, it gives you the step-by-step instructions. And then you also have to go to a class with an instructor that kind of can conceptually explain it to you. And you need to read the rules, and you need to read the license law, and you need to educate yourself on things like how to effectively use all the tools at your disposal, such as how to effectively use FMLS and Remind and Matrix, and how to effectively use Georgia MLS, how to do look up comps, how to get to know the market conditions, join chart masters, whatever it is. Most agents and most brokers are providing a tremendous amount of data and tools and classes and opportunities. And I'd say 75 to 80% are either free or very, very affordable, minuscule amount of money. And you need to educate yourself on how to do the technical things, and you need to educate yourself on the rules. And the rules aren't that hard. They're just, it's just a matter of reading. But if you just say, oh, I got just enough information to pass the state exam, and now I'm going to go out there and look around and everybody else is doing it, so this must be okay. That's fun and easy, and people are going to tend to want to do that rather than read. But reading, as my good friend Judge Parker and fellow instructor says, reading is fundamental. Reading is a superpower, and it's something you need to be using. And so I would say reading, and just get as many substantive classes as possible. Because at the end of the day, the people that hire us, they are expecting us to protect and promote their interests. So ultimately, we really want it to end up in a successful closing for the buyer and the seller. But if it doesn't end up, we don't want them financially harmed. So, we have to look at it from that perspective, is that ultimately we all want to get to a closing table, but we also have to be competent. We all have to be competent drivers. We've got licenses. I don't want to get out there and drive on 400, where I live right near 400. I don't want to drive up and down 400 with a driver that doesn't know how to drive on 400. I don't want to get on and off 285 from 400 and merge lanes with a driver that doesn't know how to drive. That's scary to me, but yet we're doing it in our industry. And I think I've told you already, Shantha, and I know Shantha, by the way, guys, she is my marketing goddess, and I just hired her to help me get my stuff together, because I am smart enough to know what I know, but if you're really smart, you also know what you don't know, and you also know when you need to have help. So I am smart enough to know what I don't know, but I am in the process of writing a book, which I hope will be the ultimate self-help book for agents, called Smart Agent. And I've got to get it done and get it to the publisher, but I'm working on it and hoping to have it out by beginning of next year. And it's going to really boil it down in simple terms, and it's going to be very relatable for you guys as to here's the right and wrong things to do, and here's some real solid examples of how to do it right, how to do it wrong, and just how to protect yourself.
So I love that. Yes, Angie, you're so much fun to work with. I can't wait till launch your brand. So that's what I wanted to find out. I want to find out about your book and also about your real estate school. I know you have a lot of exciting things happening. You mentioned your course you have coming up. I just want you to have an opportunity to share what you have going on and how we can support you. How can we follow you? All that good stuff.
Well, you guys can follow me once Shantha fixes my stuff. Wait till Shantha fixes it. She'll have it fixed probably here soon, and it'll be a lot easier because I need help. Okay. You give me a real estate contract and license law, I'm great. You give me social media, and I'm just enough to be dangerous. So, that's why I have to have Shantha here helping me. But the school, my goal for next year, and I've already started laying the groundwork, and this is it's a big task. What I want to do, and I've actually owned this particular school for over about 11 years. It only does CE credit. I don't do pre-license on purpose, mainly because I have a day job of being a managing broker, which I love, and I don't have the time really to devote to making the school all things. Pre-license for getting your license as a salesperson or pre-license for getting your broker's license. So CE credits to me, I'll let others do that. But once you have a license, I want to teach you how to really do your job. That's my goal, and really understand. So I focus on CE credit. I've expanded my CE classes to include, and I'm going to continue to expand to include the new broker CE. So if you have a salesperson license, you'll just get a regular CE credit for any broker CE class. But if you have an associate broker license, or if you're a qualifying broker, then it's going to meet your broker requirement. So I've got a few of my classes already approved like that, but I'm going to be expanding that inventory dramatically. And the biggest change, and this is going to create, it's going to take time, and I'm certainly going to be enlisting Shantha's help on this as well, is I'm going to finally expand the school to offer online only classes, online so that they could be taken anywhere, anytime by any agent. I'm going to keep them affordable, and I'm going to try not to make them boring. I'm also going to try to make them phone friendly. That's one thing I tasked my webmaster with. I said, it must be something that a person can either use an app, or they can actually has a mobile friendly viewing abilities. And that's the absolute number one thing, because people are all about their phones. And I'm thinking, while someone's sitting there, waiting to board a plane, and they could literally open up my school and knock out some CE credit and do it from their phone. And I want to make it fun and interesting. So I will have little videos where it's me explaining the broader concept. And so I'll explain it, and then there'll be, minimal reading, and then little pop quizzes and things like that. But I'm going to try to make it a little bit more lively and not boring, because when I take some classes online occasionally that, maybe I want to see what the competition's doing. The last one I signed up for was on license law. And I mean, I couldn't get through it. I literally teach license law. I have a couple different ones certified, and it's not the most stimulating subject in the world. But as an agent, all the reading and the fact that it wasn't actually telling me anything about what the statute said, and it just was vague and boring. And it was just this class that I thought, well, this is great. I never finished it. And I paid for it, but I never finished it because I could not get through it. It was that mind-numbingly boring. And so it's my passion to try to create something that you guys could attend at any time from anywhere and meet your CE requirements and not be bored to tears and use your phone. So.
Well, I hear all the time, I hear feedback about your classes. They're not boring. We know that. So that is not even an issue. But we're excited to see that. And the phone capability is amazing.
Yeah,
That just the
that's a must.
flexibility.
If I
Yeah.
have to create a special app, I will. My webmaster doesn't think that he thinks he's found a platform that's not an app, but that will allow it to be extremely mobile friendly. So we will see, but it's got to work. If it doesn't work, then we will adjust accordingly.
Yeah, well, just so that's amazing. You got a lot of exciting things. I love your passion. I think that's why people are drawn to you and drawn to your classes, Angie, and your guidance is because you truly care It comes through. You're so authentic. And I feel like you want to take care. You just want to make sure that you want people to protect their license. You have
That's right.
their best interests at heart. And I
Being
love
a
that.
broker is a lot like being a mom, and I know you have pretty much grown kids too, Shantha, as do many of us. But I've got 4 adult children, and I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I didn't let them play in the highway. And as a broker, a lot of that is much like being a good parent. And, you know, if you catch the kids playing too close to the highway or doing something that's dangerous, it's your job to educate them and say, no, 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 no. That's dangerous for you. That's not okay. It's not okay. Let's get off the highway, get over here, and let's get compliant and let's fix it. But that's very much how I feel emotionally about my job as a broker, which I think is that compulsive need to nurture. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing because I want to take care of them. I want to protect them. And ultimately, that's really where the drive is coming from. If I have the ability to explain something that other people are glazed over by, and it seems like it's complicated, but yet I've been doing it long enough and I've got enough wonderful, brilliant friends who have law degrees who've helped me understand. And so since my understanding is a lot more clear, I can take that understanding and add that clarity to you.
Yeah.
For you. Phyllis, I see your hand up.
Well, you're taking your God-given gift and you're helping other people. So that's a good thing. So Phyllis, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
I do.
You can
Bye, Mike.
unmute. Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hey, how are you? As it relates to social media, and you're posting your listings on social media, are you to add that to your business page or your personal page? That's question number 1. You want me to ask my other one, or you want to?
Well, let's. Either way you slice it, whether you are posting it, you could do both, Phyllis. Whether you're posting it on a business page or a personal page, the ad itself has to be compliant. So if I'm looking at the ad itself, I don't care if you're posting on your business page or personal page, but when you do it on your personal page, for example, which a lot of agents do, then it's Phyllis Mentor and then the brokerage. And then if it's property and you said it's a listing, then it has to have the font size, frequency, boldness, and prominence of the name of the brokerage that holds your license has to be as prominent as your name, and the broker's phone number has to be present. Your phone number is actually optional, but when it comes to advertising property, the brokerage phone number is not. So as long as it's compliant, you can post it on your personal. You can post it on, because frankly, guys, we're in the place to live business, and everybody needs a place to live. And that includes people in your personal sphere. The other thing about that, the other advantage of that is you don't want to be a secret agent. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with agents over the years where they're like, I can't believe my neighbor down the street, who's a friend of mine, used somebody else to hire their listing. And I said, well, the part of the problem is that, they think of you as their friend. You're the friend. That's the role you are in their life. Or they think of you as the lady doing the events at your church, or they think of you as this. You are not wearing the label of what you do for a living enough and weaving it into conversations enough and making that a part of your essential identity so that they'll even say to the agent that missed out on the business, oh, we didn't want to bother you because you're our friend from church, because you're our neighbor. So that lack of communicating that we are a full-time real estate professional, that's on us. That's on us.
Okay.
So as long as the ad itself is compliant, do whatever you need to do. And Phyllis, I know you had a second question.
I do. Thank you for that one. I recently heard that the brokerage firm number would have to go on listing signs.
I haven't heard that, and I haven't seen that change in the rule. That would be
Okay.
a change of a rule, and I'm constantly going through the rules. And that to my knowledge, that has not changed. Now, if a licensed person, say somebody's inactive, they're not with a broker, and they're in inactive status, all the rules still apply to them, even if they're on inactive status. They are an owner agent. In that case, if they were, say, not to hire another broker to list their property, but they wanted to sell it for sale by owner, they still have to put owner agent on the sign. And in that case, that inactive licensed agent has to put their number on the sign.
Okay. Okay.
But
and last but leastly, I'm sorry.
Oh.
As associate broker, I'm constantly taking the broker classes, and I just recently got renewed my license, so I'm good for 4 years. But I've already started taking my broker classes that are going to be required for the renewal period in 4 years. If I'm taking them today, and in 4 years I'm up for renewal, will I still get credit for these classes that I'm taking now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because somebody told me
starts,
that I wouldn't be because I'm taking them. Thank you.
The moment you renew, meaning you pay you've done the requirement. And a lot of people need to realize that it's not just getting your CE done. You've got to actually log into the Real Estate Commission website and pay the $100 renewal fee.
Right.
Once you pay that $100 renewal fee, you've hit the reset button. And then everything you do for the 4 years between that and the next time you hit the reset button is all going to add up.
Okay.
And if I know you, Phyllis, in 4 years, you're not going to have 36 hours. You're going to have about 89 hours. But that's okay. That's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's good to see your face.
It's good. Thank you. It's good to be seen.
Yeah, amen.
Great question. Great question. All right. Well, you
Hey,
guys
Shanna.
Hi. Hey, Shanna. I haven't seen you in a while either.
I know.
It's been a minute. So
And we've got Sandra on here. We've got so many more. I'm sure that I've not seen
who
all
else
their
are we
faces at
seeing?
one time.
What other friends are you seeing here, Angie?
Oh goodness, Ava,
Cassandra's here.
Richie,
I don't know if you know Cassandra.
Randy,
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh wow. Crystal.
Belkis is here.
Hey,
Yes,
Angie.
y'all.
Hi, Sherry.
Hey, so one of the things, and it's slightly a pet
More
peeve,
people on here
but
than
I'm
I
seeing
thought.
agents do it, and I think it's probably important for you to explain the rules around them doing it right, is agents promoting another agent's property on social media. It's not their listing, but they're throwing it out there like, oh, I just showed this listing. Here's the address. It's a great listing. Let me know if you want to see it, or look at this awesome listing. And they do say the agent's, name and brokerage, but I think there's a little more to that they're supposed to be doing. And I wanted to see if you could talk about that.
Number one, if you are doing any advertising of another broker's listing, maybe you showed it, you've got a video, whatever. Before you do that, you need to contact that listing agent. And even if they give you a text message or an email, you need to get permission before you post. Okay, period. So you need to get permission before you post, and that is in the rules. And you need to have a completely compliant information about that listing. So if you can't fit all the characters that says this is Sherry King's listing with Keller Williams Realty Midtown, then and here's the broker's phone number and here's this and here's that. If I can't fit a completely compliant ad that meets GREC rules that clearly shows who that true broker is in that post, I have to have a link where the public can link to the compliant ad or the actual MLS listing or whatever it is that is compliant. So when they open the link, you can say this is actually being listed by and have a hyperlink, and then it needs to open up and actually show the public who the true broker is. But before you ever do that, you need to actually get permission from the agent. I just did a video, just showed your fabulous listing. I'm about to do this. Here's the video I did. So again, that's another one of those rule number ones where we see agents out there just posting videos about, their showings and this and that, and just trying to get content for social media, but they're not getting that video approved and getting the permission of the listing agent. And let me tell you, as a broker, when that happens, and maybe the video is something that's they're making a rude comment, or maybe they're doing something silly in the house that they shouldn't have been doing, or they're using the house as like a backdrop for some sort of social media post when they really didn't have a client there to show it to, the broker's phone's going to start blowing up. And, homeowners don't like, when we have a privilege, just like anything else, we have the right to use a lockbox key to enter someone else's property. That's a huge responsibility. And with any type of privilege that you have like that comes responsibility. But yes, Sherry, there's 2 steps: permission in writing, and even if it's an email or text, and showing the other person. If it's a video or something, then show the other person that you're getting the permission from, send them a copy of what you're about to post, get their blessing, and then a link, either the actual ad that shows the proper compliant advertising for the property, or a link to it.
Great question. I have a question. One last question, I guess. We got a lot out of Angie today. We want to give her a break, but I got one last question. I would say if you guys have more, feel free to jump in.
Sure.
I see a lot of people here getting their broker's license and our brokers here. I know when we met up for lunch, it was maybe a month or so, 6 weeks. It's been a little
Yeah.
while. We talked about how, in my experience, brokers find it a little bit challenging communicating this stuff to their agents, or they may not want to step on toes. Can you share what your experience has been with brokers communicating compliance with their agents and give them some things that they can do to get over that? It's because really it's a mental hurdle. It's a mental mindset
That's
thing.
a really, really good point that you bring up, Shantha, because that is the challenge. So, obviously we're in a business to make money. And in many ways, you guys have to understand you are clients of the broker, because the broker needs to attract you. They need you. You tend to bring in the business of the buyers and sellers, but the broker needs you to affiliate with them. So they want to obviously make you happy. But just like a good parent, I want my kids to like me. I want my kids to love me. But, they also have to understand I have responsibility. And I find with anything you're trying to explain to someone, when you can come to that information, even if it's something they don't want to hear, and explain to them that you're telling what they need to hear, and you're explaining it to them from the perspective of what's in it for them, it's always going to resonate much more than it would be like, I'm just trying to be the authoritarian and tell you yes or no. I'm telling you what you need to hear. I've got the courage to tell you what you need to hear to protect yourself and to protect the business that you work hard and protect this income that you are earning. And so when you come at it from that place, I think it's far more effective that we're coming at it from a place of protection, guidance, and telling people what they need to hear for their own best interest. When you come at it from that position, you do have certain people in leadership that they themselves are not, they did what they had to do to get the broker's license, and they're not staying up on their communication. They're not diving in and reading. They're not, which is again why the Real Estate Commission is now requiring 18 of the 36 hours that someone with an associate broker or broker's license now be on the subject of broker training, specifically because we have a lot of people out there that are small brokerages or hired as a managing broker when they are not as up to speed on things as they should, because they've made assumptions. They've assumed that this is what we have always done, or this is what everybody else is doing on a large scale. How is it that they can all get away with doing it? It must be okay. And then I have to be the party pooper that says, no, here's the actual rule and here's the actual law. But again, we've just got to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And I will find that a lot of brokers struggle with being really honest with agents whose license they hold, because they're afraid that the agent will not want to be with that brokerage anymore. But I have found over the years that agents respected me. They respected me, and I see Phyllis nodding her head. I know Chuck would nod her head, no Sherry, but agents respected me because I had courage. I think people respect courage. I think they respect honesty. I think they respect someone. I certainly hope so. It's been my experience that when you explain to someone that you are truly trying to do the right thing and help them help themselves and help them protect themselves and help them be stronger and smarter and what have you, I found the vast majority respect it. Even if at first they're like, wait, I've got to change the way I'm doing things. What do you mean? You know, you get some initial resistance a lot of times, but when they really understand that your heart is in the right place and that you are truly trying to help them prevent a problem that's completely preventable, that is usually going to be the ticket.
I would like to add to that, it's not personal.
No.
You know, no, it's not personal. It's about what you just said, you know, helping us help ourselves.
Right.
Yeah. Help me help you.
Yes. And we have to have those same, let me give you another analogy. While I, as a broker, have to have that conversation with you, you have to have those same challenging and difficult conversations with buyers and sellers. You have to tell a seller when their house has serious problems that are going to need to be disclosed, or is the maintenance, serious maintenance issues, and that maybe it's not worth as much money as they think it is, and it's not able to be priced, and that there's certain things they have to do to get it cleaned up and get it ready for showing. You have to have those uncomfortable conversations where you're struggling between, how do I make this person happy so they want to work with me, but how do I tell them what they need to hear, which might actually be a little uncomfortable. Or how do I tell this buyer that what they're wanting is outside their price range? Or because they always think that every offer they make, they can lowball and offer 75% of the purchase price, and they've missed out on 3 or 4 houses now. And here we go again and again. So the same type of position I'm put in as a broker to have those challenging conversations with you to tell you what you need to hear, you've got to have those with the buyers and the sellers. So we're all kind of in the same boat in many ways. And I think if we kind of understand that on a broad scale, we understand each other better.
Yes, nice, nice. Well, y'all, this was mind-blowing. Angie, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I want to share her real estate school here. You guys go and check out reschoolofgeorgia.com. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in chat as well. I know, Angie, you have some exciting classes. If you guys go here to the drop down, you can see all of her courses here. And then
But when you click on view course schedules, what I actually have booked.
Okay.
Over here on the little view course schedules is what's actually on the books. And they are all taught not only live at the particular locations, but also via Zoom. So when you register, you'll get a link to the Zoom so you can log in the day of right before the class starts, and you can attend remotely via Zoom. That's
Nice.
just my way of getting more people easier access to the classes. But soon I'll also have strictly online classes that you could take at 10 o'clock at night if you want.
Nice. Thank you for all you do for the real estate industry. And we're excited to see your book that's coming. We're excited to see everything, your courses. I know we're going to be registering for these classes. Angie, thanks so much. Do you have anything else you want to share with us?
I just can't thank you enough, Shantha, because you are you're a huge support system for me, and I need the help that you provide, and you are such a wonderful support system for me, and I know that you will continue to be. And Shantha, I and I've known each other for many years, and so it's just a pleasure to take our relationship to the next level and have her really help me, promote my school and promote the book, and just get some of those holes in my boat. They may not necessarily be legal, but they are marketing wise. I need lots of help.
Well, I'm here
So,
for you. I'm so happy. I know we go way, 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 way back, and I'm just glad that we've been able to go even deeper in our relationship. And I love working with you. So I'm excited
same,
to launch your
same.
brand.
And it was
Yeah.
good to see so many wonderful, familiar faces I haven't seen in so long. Yeah, it's just
Yes,
such
and
it's a joy
Deborah's
for
like, "Do
me.
we get a break?" We're actually about to
Wrapping
end,
up.
Deborah. So we don't need a break. We're about to end. This isn't a 3-hour CE, by the way. I think I
No.
told y'all that. But yeah, I wanted to share some things, guys. I do have a Wind Down Wednesday event coming. I dropped the link in chat. We're in Lake Waleska, which is like 20 minutes from Woodstock. It's north of Woodstock. I would love to see y'all there. It's free. We're going to be doing wine, cheese, networking. We're going to have some sponsors there. So I would love to have you guys there at Wind Down Wednesday. And then if you need an audit of your social media, this is one of the things that I did with Angie, and we're actually going deeper. She scheduled her audit for next week, I believe, like the 22nd. I think we
Yes,
got
the
some time
Tuesday.
scheduled, and so we're going to launch her brand from that conversation. But if you guys want an audit, I can audit your social media presence, your Google presence, your content, and just make sure everything is Georgia Real Estate Commission compliant. I'll also give you content strategy, social media strategy, tell you how to clean things up, where some holes are missing with your branding and marketing. I'll look at your colors, your bio, your tagline, everything, and give you a strategy. If you are looking for that, I dropped a link in chat. I would love to work with you on that. And then the last thing is I have the Magnetic Brand Accelerator. And this is what we're going to do with Angie. We're going to take her through really having a brand that's not really there yet. She has an amazing brand, but having a brand communicated is another thing. And so we're going to take where she is and really make her look amazing, amazing as she is inside, the amazing person we see when we're working with her. We want to take that brand and communicate it to the world. And so if you're looking for a brand, if you don't have your social media presence set up, I can definitely help you with that as well. I dropped all those links down in chat, friends. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll do these once a week. So last week I did a money mindset, and it's on our YouTube channel. Um, and so you can go ahead and check that out on our YouTube channel, the Shantha Wetterhan. I did a money mindset interview, and next week it'll be another interview. So, Angie, thanks again for being
Thank you. And
here.
I would encourage you guys to at least have a conversation just to check out what Shantha's capable of, because she, in 10 seconds, she had me Google myself using a special thing. And I found that I'm out there on a website somewhere 2 brokerages ago, like completely inaccurate information. And
And it's
so
fine.
she's
We're
got all
clearing that
those
up.
tricks of being able to find all the things that the public is going to find about you, and you may be shocked. And
Yes.
she can help you fix it. And that's what she's going to do for me. So I can't wait to get started. This was wonderful, Shantha. I look forward to
Thank you,
doing this again.
Shanta. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I joined. Thank you. And I
Same,
will be
Phyllis.
reaching out. I need
Yes.
to work on some rebranding.
Absolutely. Well, if you're interested in that, you can get on my calendar. You can I'll give you my if I'll give you my cell, you can text me.
I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. It's 678-646-8026. And then we can set up a discovery call, hop on a Zoom and talk about your needs. All right. All
Okay.
right, friends.
Thank you
Y'all.
so much.
Thank you. You guys were amazing. Thank y'all for being here. And we'll let you know when we have our next Bombshell Brand Masterclass, friends. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you. And
Thanks,
Angie, I will be
guys.
calling you soon too.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you so
Good to
much.
see everybody.
Have a blessed day, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
friends.
Thank you.
Blessings. Take care.